take that. You page?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, it just came.
Hey, shalom, shalom. We'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash.
double honors to the apostles and bishops and of the great millstone. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing his word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, we're here on this Tuesday evening. I want to do a quick live lesson, Lord willing. This will be edifying to the elect of Israel. We usually be with our Elder Yashawamba, but through certain circumstances, we was going to be on our end of town and said we were just going to do a lesson, and we'll just get into it. As you see where it says on the name of the lesson, it goes into like walking the path of righteous. It's supposed to be righteousness that leads to salvation, or the path of destruction. That's really the two. It's a two-way street now. So you got one way that's going to lead to what? That deliverance through the Spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, who Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, which is true biblical name is Yahweh, meaning He is. When He was speaking to Moses during the time we were talking to him through the bush, when he sent them back to Egypt, and also Yahweh Shai, who the world English calls Jesus, which his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning He is. That is the true and righteous path. He saved. He saved. Yeah, He's delivered. And that's actually the path that you're supposed to be looking towards. Because there's no gray areas as we see now. The Lord He's separating the sheep from the goat. And the thing is what path is you going to take, in these days? What the scripture say, what manner of man will you be when these times come? Because the times that are coming is going to be times like no other, as it says in Daniel 12. It's going to be time like no other. It's going to be some bad times out here. And when you see when a downfall of an empire or a downfall of a kingdom, it don't be all candy canes and lollipops. When you going through a downfall of a kingdom, you're gonna see what a lot of bad things happen. That's why I call it bad times. It don't be no celebration when the kingdom is collapsed. All right, and that's what we're in. We're in the midst of a collapsing kingdom. In July, it's gonna be what America's 250th year, and the 250th year is it's like the pinnacle of what a kingdom where they finna basically receive the downfall. All right, so we're at the top. We haven't been to America have made it to the top of the mountain there, the height of it. Now you're seeing how America is coming on down, and we know through prophecy that this is the final empire or the final kingdom before what Yahweh Shai, who's gonna come forth with a band of angels that's gonna come and what set forth His kingdom here on the earth.
John, I'll just add real quick to that point, brother. Since you said that, when you read in Daniel the 7th chapter, it's prophesied that those four major empires or kingdoms was going to reign and rule before the implementation of the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? Which that happened, man. You had the Babylonian Empire, which prior to that was the Assyrian Empire, but the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greek Empire under Alexander, and the Romans, the Roman Empire, which was that fourth empire, which of course, when you read that there was going to be a little horn that was going to come forth from that, which represents America, man. You know what I'm saying? So we're here, man. This is it. This is that final empire before the implementation of the kingdom of heaven. When our big brother cracks these clouds and presents himself, and as it says in Revelations, the 19th chapter, he's coming to judge and make war, man. So he's going to make war with these nations and take them down. We read also in Daniel, the 7th chapter goes into how the thrones were cast down. You know what I'm saying? So the thrones, and of course in Revelation, the 19th chapter, when he comes to judge and make war, he's going to have many crowns on his head. Those thrones and those crowns are synonymous, man, for this current rulership, this left-hand joint heir rulership on the left-hand side under Esau, man, and these nations joined unto him. You know, he's coming to take these devils down, all these nations down, and establish his righteous kingdom in the earth, man. You know, and that's the times we're in, man. Which one you want?
About to subdue the nation.
Oh, come. Yeah.
Daniel 7 and verse, when he subdued the nation, 24. I'm going to start at verse 22. And it said, until the Ancient of Days came, the saints, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom.
The saints possess the kingdom. Who are the saints, man? Psalms 50 and verse 5, man. You know, Psalms 148 and verse what's 14, 13, I believe it's 14, 13 or 14. And then you have Psalms 149, I believe, in verse 1 and 2. You know, it tells you who the saints are. The Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? The nation of Israel are the saints, man. Now in these times, because the Lord ain't dealing with the entire nation, it's the elect of the nation of Israel, which the nation of Israel consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of Negroid descent. You make up the 12 no longer lost tribes, man. We know who we are in these times. We know who our enemies are in these times, man. You know, so those are the saints, man.
That's right. Daniel 7 and 23, it says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms and shall devour the whole earth.
So the fourth beast, which is that the Roman Empire, was going to be the fourth kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Well, I remember being in a Christian church and they broke that down as like literal beasts, man. You know, had me all afraid, made me get married.
Right.
I'm scared because I'm thinking these beasts, literal beasts, gonna come. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Christianity and Christendom is through, man. It's finished, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom, which represents the Roman Empire, man. Go ahead.
It says, and shall devour the whole earth and shall tread it down and break in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first king and shall subdue 3 kings. Oh.
And that it said the 10 horns, man. Each sign represents the EU, man. The beast is NATO. The 10 horn represents the EU, and the whore that sits upon the beast, or rides the beast, is America, man. In these times, man. You know what I'm saying? Did you want to add something? You want
to? Yeah. And we don't have to go all the way through that. But like you said, what is that fourth kingdom? What came out of that little horn, which what is America? All right, America, and you can see Rome is basically Rome. America is Rome 2.0 all over again. That's why you have the government is just like set up just like Rome was. You know, you have the buildings. Look at the buildings in DC and different places. That's just like Rome. You know, and then when you look at the architecture, that's right. And when you go a little further back, that's basically looking like Mount Styr as well. You know. So that let you know, and that let you know they got the same mindset. Nothing new under the sun, like you like to bring out. They do the same thing, you know, when they come back from generation to generation, setting up the same architect, run the same system they run, and what's all their system lead to? Death and destruction. Right. You know,
because at the end of the day, it's the same people, it's the same spirits. You know, the spirits coming back. You know, the scriptures say that there's no end to all the people. You know what I'm saying? People come back, man. Reincarnation is a part of this thing, man. You got these Christians can't understand that and teach against that. You know what I'm saying? But bro, the reincarnation is a vital part of this. If really, without reincarnation, the Bible really wouldn't make a lot of sense. It wouldn't make sense, man. Reincarnation makes the Bible make sense. It connects things and makes it make sense. You know, so yeah, man. You know, the spirits come back. So it's the same spirit, man. The same people coming back again. You know, what's that? Ecclesiastes 1, and then you got 3. You know, that which was then is now. You know what I'm saying? And of course, in the first chapter, that which is done is that which shall be done. You know, and there's no new thing or people, person, man under the sun, man. You know,
that's right.
So that's why, man. That's why they come back doing the same exact mindset and the same things. You know, you got it.
That's like through the spirit that we have, and when we're part of the saints. You know, they're gonna follow that righteous path that's gonna lead to that salvation.
That's right.
You know. And this time around, you know, like I say, at the scripture say they're not going to see death, you know.
Right.
So death is not going to touch the elect, the saints.
Right.
You know, and like I said, that's why it's gonna be that path that you're gonna be following. It's gonna be the path that's gonna be led through by Yahweh Shai. He's the light. Okay, and it's gonna be the doorway that says in John 10 that you have to go through. You know, and you have all these niggas that's leading, basically trying to spread the flock. You know, these pastors just leading these people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna lead them to destruction. Okay, we seen what happened to Genesis, and the Lord is working. Hey, the Lord is breaking these wicked congregations down.
Right.
You know, He's exposing them. But yet everybody look at GMS and they're waiting for us to fall. But with our apostles and on down, what do? The apostles have been sticking to the script, you know, because they fear the Lord, you know, and they want to receive salvation, you know. And what we do, we continue that too, because we have fear for the Lord. But these men out here that's trying to get it for filthy lucre's sake, or trying to, you know, get everybody saved just to make more money, that ain't the way of the Lord. That's not the way of salvation. And that's going to lead to their destruction. You know, so that's what's going to happen. A breakdown or revealing is not just for, like you say, the wicked kingdom of Esau and you know, the empire, like I said, of America, all these things being revealed, but it's going to go for these wicked Edomites as well. I mean, wicked Israelites as well. All right. The Lord said in Ezekiel 9, starting with around the 4th verse, He's going to start what? He's going to start at His house. You know, you Israelites who are basically well in Jerusalem, knowing who you are, Israelites. And we seeing that's happening now. That's the prophecy that the Lord spoke of in the latter time. And this is prophecy that's actually happening now.
And if I can add too, these things are prophesied, because when you read and and that's why the Lord said what He said, many are called, few are chosen. They are not all Israel that are of Israel. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is not dealing with the entire nation in these times.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of false prophets among the nation of Israel, man. You know, and they're teaching false doctrine, man, heresies, man. You know, they're erring in the doctrine because they didn't stick to the apostles' doctrine, man. You know, so hey, what you expect is going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? You're on the wrong path. You're on a path of destruction. That's why the Lord is going to destroy these dudes, man. You know, Genesis and Sakari and all these different, you know, camps that's wayward of the Lord, man. You know, because the Lord is not dealing with them, bro. You gotta. Well, yeah, I was gonna make the point of you know, because we were going into the whole predestination thing, you know, the spirits coming back and the whole nine. That's because, yeah, like I just said, everything is determined, predestined. So I was just gonna get this real quick in Ephesians, the 1st chapter. You know, it's this is Ephesians, the 1st chapter. And I just get to the point pretty much. It's verse 4. It says, according as He hath chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love, having predestined us unto the adoption of children by Yahushua Mashiach to Himself, according to the good pleasure of His will. And this thing is all about the will, purpose, and pleasure of the Lord, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So it was predestined for those which are in these times the hopeful elect to receive this knowledge and stay on the path of righteousness, do the right things, man. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's the same thing the opposite way. It's predestined for those that are on that path of destruction to be on that path of destruction, man. Because the Lord is not dealing with them. He's not with them. He don't love them. You know, He don't love the whole nation in these times. You just got to, you know, and most people don't understand that. They don't, because they don't know the true nature of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how He moved. They don't know His name. They don't know anything about Him, man. They've been taught love, 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 you know, Jeebus, God, you know, all this madness, man, you know, which goes back to the Christian church, Christianism, you know, which ultimately goes back to the Catholic Church, which is the false prophet, according to the Bible, man. You know, so they off, man. You got it.
He told them in Matthew 13 and Mark 4, when, you know, He spoke to the multitude, but He spoke to them in parables. But when He got away from the multitude, He talked to His disciples. And what He tell them is, you to know the kingdom of heaven, but those not given. You know, so He's gonna have some of them that's gonna know they're Israelites and they're gonna be walking a certain path, but He's not gonna give them the full understanding. You know,
disclosure.
The full disclosure.
Yeah, God,
you know, that's and they're not gonna receive it. But His men, His true men, like you say, the ones that's gonna be within that election, He's gonna give them what, the full skinny, as they call it.
Right.
You know, So those are the ones that's going to continue to walking in that path of what that will lead to salvation.
Right.
Yes, more. We get that.
Yeah, what you want? Which one?
Yeah, you get that. With Romans 12.
Mm-hmm. This is Romans 12 and verse 2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High."
Be not conformed to this world. Okay. The world is not leading a way that is right unto the Lord. Because when you go to Job 9:24, the earth was given to the hands of the wicked. All right. And he covered the faces of the judges. And he have, like you say, some of these wicked Israelites that are trying to keep that covering cast over because they want to what? They want to continue this world.
Right.
You know, they want this world to continue on. But you're supposed to be what? You're supposed to be transformed when you receive this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Right.
Okay. And that's can you read that? Read it again.
This is back in Romans the 12th chapter and verse 2 again. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind."
The renewing of your mind. You're supposed to have what? A renewal of your mind. That's going into what? That being that new man. You know, because when you receive this, you come into this thing that's like a babe, and you grow up like it's starting all over again. You know, when Yahweh Shai was talking to Nicodemus, Nicodemus have like, do we need to? I have to go back into my mother's womb.
Right, he didn't understand.
He didn't understand, but we understand. We're supposed to let go of all these thoughts, which was mortal thoughts that we receive, because we all, majority of us grew up in like what? These Christian churches or these church homes, and they was telling us salvation basically for everybody. Just believe, you can be delivered, do as you want. But then when you go and get a full understanding that do as thou wilt, spirit, do whatever you do, what the fuck you want to do, like
Come as you are.
Come as you
Is
are.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's no what is it, like no standards.
Right.
You know, but the Lord, he has standards.
Right.
In certain ways you have to walk upon this earth, you know, for it to be acceptable.
Right.
You know,
Right.
for the Lord to see you as being acceptable, saying, okay, I can wash this one clean. Because we know it ain't perfect. It ain't be perfect,
right,
but you follow it the best of your ability. And see, you have, but when, like you say, that's being what? Being transformed. But when you're not being transformed, just conforming to this world, you stick to your old ways.
Right.
You know, you'll look one way amongst your congregation, but you're totally different when you're not in front of everybody. And that's, you know, and that's being like a hypocrite.
Right.
You know, things that you teach is how you're supposed to walk. Practice what you preach.
Oh,
you know, so you're supposed to be transforming and renewing of your mind.
On now.
What was the end of it said?
Oh yeah, I can finish it, yeah, because I started again. I'll just read from the top again. This is Romans 12 and 2. And it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High."
See, the acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Okay, so what you're supposed to do? What? Mortify your members. You got to put that old man to sleep, and you're supposed to grow, like you say, the right way for the Lord to see that and say, okay, you're accepted. You know, because this is a sacrifice we're doing.
Right.
You know, so our sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, it's got to be brought forth to be acceptable to the Lord. You know, we're trying to bring, like you say, the sacrifice of Abel, not of Cain.
Righteous sacrifice.
The righteous
sacrifice of fools.
Not a sacrifice of fools. Because what it says, what is that? This world is the foolishness of this world. You know, it's not acceptable to the Lord.
Enmity,
So,
I think.
Yeah.
Like enmity.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's
1 Corinthians.
yeah,
Oh,
1
it's
Corinthians
knowledge.
3. 1 Corinthians 3, around maybe the 19th verse. Because Lord, he ain't looking for someone that's gonna continue doing what they're doing, knowing this world, because this world is corrupted. You know, that's why the Lord said he's gonna throw this world down. He's gonna bring forth he's gonna bring a variance, he's gonna cause division amongst everybody, he's gonna cause war upon this earth. Like I said, when you finna go and conquer, when somebody's gonna empire getting brought down, it's not finna be candy canes and lollipops and celebrations.
Right.
It's gonna be chaos, madness, destruction.
That's it. Esau ain't gonna want to let go of his rulership, man. You know, you think that nigga just gonna hand it over? Nah, that nigga gonna fight. This nigga is so proud to the point he gonna try to fight the Lord, man. The creator of all, he gonna try to fight, bro. You know? So if that don't tell you the story, the skinny, you know, if that don't give it to you right there, I don't know what will, bro. You know, showing you how it's gonna be chaos, man. It's gonna be a lot of crazy shit that you're gonna see before this thing goes down, you know. But I got that in First Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 19. It says, "For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness."
Yeah, and he's gonna take the wise in their own craftiness, because you know, like the scriptures say, this man is wiser than Daniel. All right, but the foolishness of this world, you gotta look what he's doing.
Right.
You know, he makes people think he's like your head, or like you say, the wisdom. You know what I'm saying? These is Bill Gates,
Right.
Elon Musk. You want somebody that want to shoot bombs, missiles in the sky. You want someone that, yeah, shoot in the moon. You know, that's the wisdom of this world.
Right.
You want somebody that's gonna say, we're gonna take these AI centers and drain billions of water a year. That's the wisdom of this world.
Right.
You know, that is not, you know, and do you think that's the building? You think that's gonna help life flourish?
Right.
And
Bruh.
what did, like BG said, if you do a really, really good job, we can get the basically get the population down by 15%. How do you get the population down? By what? You unalive someone. You know, yeah, a lot of people. You have people celebrating and clapping for that.
Through.
Yeah.
These people bugged out, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this devil he's not wise, man. He's not a wise ruler. He's not a wise king, like it says in what's that, in Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. You know, he's an unwise ruler, man. You know what I'm saying? And as the ruler, so are the people, man. So he's bugged out and they bugged out, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on. But like the Khan said, the Lord is about to take this place out, man. You know what I'm saying? And deservingly so, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing good going on in this place. The priest just mentioned just a few things that this devil is doing, man. You know, with the data centers and all, you know, with the water, you know, dude, that's not wise.
No.
You people don't understand. You the one gonna suffer, man. When you ain't got nothing to drink, you ain't got no water to drink, because the data centers are using up all the water, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he wants his AI system, this whole AI, this technology to flourish, man. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna suffer, bro. You know, that's not wise, bro. Fucking bugged out, but you got it out.
Sirach 10.
Yeah, that was it.
Sirach 10 and 1, it says, you mentioned it, it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man was well ordered.
Yeah, a prudent man, a wise man is well ordered, you know, which when our big brother Yahushua returns and sets up his kingdom, hello, wisdom is going to flow and flourish throughout the earth, the four corners of the earth, man.
Right.
You know, up under the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything other than that is through, man. You know what I'm saying? You see that right now. This is a contrary kingdom of the Lord, man. His ways. You know what I'm saying? And you see it. It's everybody's angry. Ain't nobody happy. What's that? Proverbs 29 and 2. You know, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn, man. Everybody is mourning, man. Ain't nobody happy. People crying. These women, they through, you know, lost their jobs and can't make it. You know what I'm saying? The job that they do have, they don't make enough money to make their bills, right, to make it, man. Got women living in their cars and trucks. You know, homelessness is going to skyrocket soon, man. Yeah. You know, these people about to be hungry. You know, this dude is manufacturing a famine, man. Hello, you not see what you're dealing with? This dude is the wicked, man. These are some wicked people. It's a wicked nation of people, man. I don't care how much he'll claim to love you. You know what I'm saying? He might buy you some dinner or whatever. These people are wicked as hell, man. And you got to keep your eye on them. That's why the Lord said in Ecclesiastes Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemies. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to trust these devils. You know, they're not to be trusted, man.
Right. You're thinking about the homelessness, and I was thinking, because you have like a lot of these women that's going on to these social media, and they're talking about, you know, I'm living in my van, and you know, I'm this and that, and they make it seem like it's so exciting.
Right.
See, but you got to think what Esau's getting ready to do. He's trying to change everything where you're gonna be having to put E85 in your gas tank, And it's fucking up it's gonna fuck up a lot of your engines.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you think you're gonna be homeless, or you talking about I'm gonna living in my van, your van ain't gonna be moving.
Right. Right.
Eventually that shit can be breaking down. And that's all is that's a controlled demolition, because he's setting up for nobody to have nothing unless you come to him for the one of all things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you're gonna have to bow down when you come to him. You know, this dude has an agenda that he's trying to achieve, man. And that C-hip is the ultimate of that agenda, man. You know, he's trying to get everybody C-hipped. You know what I'm saying? You know what that is, C-hip. Come on, man. Don't make us have to say it. You don't get our pages clipped.
Right.
But the C-hip, bro, this is this dude's agenda, man. He wants to control everything and everybody, man. You know, but his primary mission is to get to the Israelites, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if he in his mind, if he could get them, then he ultimately wins, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he wins. You know, because then the people of the Lord are through. You know, the Lord ain't gonna deal with a people that's gonna turn their back on their power, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he knows that. So at the end of the day, though, you know, again, we read the predestination there, and that's why the scriptures speak about those 7,000 men, you know, who have not bowed the knee to Baal, you know, which represents the elect, man, the 144,000. You know what I'm saying? This story is written, bro. The victory is already written, so we know those people are not going to fold, man.
Right.
Whoever they may be, Lord willing, we can be a part of that number.
Well, Sirach 10:2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein."
Here it is. It's the man of the ruler, and the people gonna be in the same, man. So this nigga through and they through too. You know what I'm saying? That's it. At the end of the day, that's it. He's bugged out and through, and they bugged out and through right with him. You know, and everything about to have to go. Like that movie with Will Ferrell. Everything must go.
Yeah.
You know, everything must go. It's all finna have to go, man. Out of here. Get out. Get the hell out. There's no place in the kingdom of heaven for that madness, man.
Right.
You know, so 2/3 of our people, the majority of the nation of Israel, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, will have to be destroyed. And it's already written. Zechariah the 13th chapter and verse 8, man.
That's right. But this is Corinthians 4. Corinthians 4.
Oh, yeah. Come. Start at 3.
No, this is 1 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. And it reads,
There's a second. Might be second.
Yeah.
2 Corinthians.
yeah, this is 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 3. It says, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost."
And this gospel is hid to the majority of the nation of Israel, man. You know, it's hid. It wasn't given to them. That's why I like the priest mentioned earlier. The Yahushua said it is given unto you to know, but unto them it's not. It's not given. He's not dealing with everybody, man.
Right.
You know, the whole nation. Go ahead.
Verse 4, it says, "In whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them which believe not."
The God of this world, which the God of this world, you know, they of course they present Jebus, but ultimately the God of this world is Esau, man. You know, he's the God of this world, man. He's the God of these people, man. They're following Esau, you know. So he's their God, and the majority of our people are going to choose Esau over Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. And that's why Zechariah 13:8 must needs be, man. It had to happen. He got to kill the majority of his people, man. You know, unalive them. You know, you want to add anything up?
Yeah. Like you said, you know, they're blinded. The Lord has gave them to what? It's that delusion, that strong delusion where they feel like that, you know, they look for, and we always bring this up with Taraji P. Henson at the time, help us, Joe. You know, Joe didn't help, and then they said, help us, Trump. Trump didn't help them. Who they looking for now? They looking for anybody with a pale face to help them. They got money. Or they on the head in the front, you know, the front of the, you know, in the front of the light or something, or someone that they're looking at. They look for Esau's standard, and his standard is not a standard for you. You got to think the Georgia Guidestone was put up for a purpose, and that purpose, he said, it was in I think 10 or 12 different languages. But what was the first thing they said to sustain life? You got to get under 500 million people. That ain't what the Lord said.
Right.
You know, all this mass land here, this mass land here in Texas. You know, you could fit. They said the United States or the world population inside of the state of Texas. You know, but Esau make you think that what we're running out of room. You know, the cows are too much methane in there because of the cow. But this nigga have pollution all in the with all these factories that constantly burning shit and having all this pollution that's coming up that won't stop running.
Right.
These factories go 24/7.
Yep.
And he talking about that, but then he'll basically do and take away all your water and say, well, we need these data centers, and he will do what? Go to your neighborhood and build a data center, and your water is basically you have the people turning brown.
Mm-hmm.
You know, drinking water completely brown,
right?
Doo-doo brown,
right?
You know, but then he said that he's doing what he can to try to help and save and sustain your life. No, you know, like he said, never trust our enemies. Iron Rust. Bro, this dude is still the same OE. He's still the same one that goes around and bring forth death and destruction wherever he goes. He just put on a suit and tie now. It's just he makes and talk with a smooth, a light voice.
Right.
You know, but you don't supposed to trust him.
Man, this nigga's a caveman, bro.
Yes.
He's the basis of men, bro.
Right.
You know, of course, the in these times the Lord gave like the Khan mentioned earlier, he's wiser than Daniel, but where did he get that wisdom, bro? From Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. But he won't acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to acknowledge that fact, and he's proud as hell, man. So he's going to try to come against the very one that gave him these things, man. Put these things in this base man, this caveman's hands, man. You know, the earth and the wisdom that he has, which of course in these times the Lord is taking it, you know, and they're returning back to that base state. You know what I'm saying? They're in the process of coming down and going back to that base state, while the one that's been on the bottom, the Israelites, are coming up. Right. You know what I'm saying? So those are the times we're in, man. So we're in a time of, you know, of rejoicing right now, but we still got some things we got to go through. You know, it ain't over, but hey, overall, man, we're in some beautiful times, man. Right. You know, but what's some more on there?
Corinthians 4 and verse 4, 2 Corinthians 4 and 4, it says, "To whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them that believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is in the image of the Most High, should shine unto them."
And it didn't shine unto them. It didn't shine unto them. It wasn't given to them, you know. It shined upon or to the elect, man. You know what I'm saying? In these times, which we hope to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, you know. So yeah, two-thirds of our people are through, man. You got it up.
Verse 5, it says, "For we preach not ourselves, but Mashiach Yahweh Shai the Lord, and ourselves your servants for Yahweh Shai's sake."
That's it. We're servants, man. You know what I'm saying? We're servants of Yahweh Shai, and we preach Yahweh Shai, that banner, man. We're lifting it up, man. We're the ones lifting that banner up in these times, man. And of course, you know, like Yahweh Shai said, if I be lifted up from the earth, shall draw all men unto me. And that's what's happening, man. Those Gentiles in Isaiah the 11th chapter, that's seeking to that ensign, you know, that's what you're witnessing, man. These people don't even know what they're looking at, man. Right. You know, but that drawing is happening, man. You know, and you got people talking trash about this. You know, this is what he's talking about. You know.
And like you said, we speak not of ourselves in Mashiach Yahweh Shai, and then like you say, that's the doorway. You know, like I would like to bring up John 10, but what are some of them doing? They're trying to go the other way. You know, they're trying to come up another way. That's why they said, like you said, now they're trying to say, well, now we can call upon Jesus now.
Right.
Okay. True. Now everybody see that's the thing. See, that's the thing. The Lord has put those stumbling blocks. They're stumbling blocks. You know, this is a stumbling block. You know, for the people that are blinded.
Yep.
They can't see it. They can't understand it. But then you have some that know it, but like you say, Filthy Lucas say, they said what? They got the Filthy Lucas say they get to what? Spread the flock. You know, and like I said,
scattered.
Scattered. We don't know if it was for 50 Lucas state, but we know it was something.
Right.
All of a sudden, all these years you're going to change and say, no, don't go through this door, which is Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Go another way. Go around back. That round back is going to lead to death.
Right.
Going around back.
Right.
See, they're getting you back in that carnal mind state.
That's it.
They're trying to bring you back to the old man. As we mentioned
Mhm.
earlier in this in the lesson, it's not the new man.
Right.
We supposed to be putting out the old man, mortifies our members. You're supposed to put that man to death
Yep.
and come up like say newborn babes.
Mhm.
They don't want they want to put you back what in that old estate, the old not even like your original that estate where they have you here and follow what Esau's way, and that's the way that the Lord is coming to bring forth what destruction.
Mhm.
All right, Lord said He ain't coming to bring peace but a sword.
Right.
You know Matthew 10 tells you that, and that sword is gonna a sword that you mentioned that sword like to do many things. It come to what? It's come to divide and it also come to what? To slay, and that's what the Lord is gonna bring back. All right, so like I said, we mentioned you mentioned Zechariah 13 and 8, that 2/3 they're gonna be what? Slaves, you know. And so we know they're gonna come back in the kingdom, but they're not gonna but in this go around at the end of this Esau rulership, they're gonna go down with the ship that Esau's going down in. And Esau's actually gonna start it before the Lord come, because that's why it says in Revelation 12 and 12, he's gonna come with great wrath, knowing but he got a short time. Right. So you're gonna be holding joint hands with him, he gonna turn around you and start stabbing you in your arm. Start stabbing you in your side. So why are you following the man that's looking to put you to death?
Right. And the scriptures say that they that are joined to this man is going to be thrust through.
Yep.
So that goes right with what the priest is going into, man. And also he mentioned that sword. You know, Lord is bringing a sword, and the scriptures speak of a sword being furbished and sharpened, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, look, and ultimately that's going into those thermonuclear missiles, man.
Right.
That's going to pierce this serpent, man. You know what I'm saying? And have him running in terrors, man. Yep. Terrors on every side, like the scriptures say. You know, so this man is through, man. But 2/3 of our people believe in it. Yep. They believe in him and his beast system, man. And they through too. You got it. You got something?
This is Hebrews 13 and 14. It says, "For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come." Maybe. Like you said, so this city that we see in, because Babylon, America, aka America, is a city. All right, that's why they call you citizens.
Right.
All right, because you're of that state, you know, of that city. So you can, because we say a state, and this is a country, but you are within what? You're a citizen of America. So this is one great city.
Right.
All right. That's what it calls in the scripture. All right, that great city that's gonna be what? Cast down. All right. And like I said, we seek what? We seek the city to come. All right, and that's the city of Jerusalem that's gonna come down, and the Lord is gonna bring forth.
All right.
All right, but before that happens, what it says in 2 Ezra 13, he's gonna come forth and with what those lasers, okay, some laser beams, and he's gonna come forth with the chariots, and you're gonna have Esau, who don't want to repent and don't want to let go of this city, this kingdom. He's gonna what? He's gonna set up and durst fight, as the scriptures say. These other countries are going to be fighting, and they're going to be fighting amongst each other in the valley of Jehoshaphat. You know, Yahweh's judgment. And why do they call it that? Because when he comes forth, they're going to fight him, and he's going to basically, it ain't going to be no fight.
Right.
It's going to be a quick blast and take him down.
He's going to take him out fast as hell, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Literal 60 minutes, man. It's going to be done and over with. And the dust, smell of, what was it? The dust and the smell of smoke or something like that. That's it, bro. That's all gonna be left, man. The dust and the smell of smoke, man. He gonna reduce you back to ashes,
right?
Whence you came. You know what I'm saying? So, and I want to mention too, because you mentioned not too long ago, you mentioned those Georgia Guidestones,
yeah,
and how you know, all the many people that you would have to eliminate. You know, going back to Billy Goat. You know, what is the Gil Bates or BG, whatever you want to call this nigga, man, a demon devil, man. You know what I'm saying? On TED Talk, when he went into that whole thing of reducing, and the first thing he went to was the people. You know, we gotta get one of these down to zero. You know what I'm saying? And he went right to the people, man, and like these idiots clap. But at the end of the day, it's the Lord, man. Yep. That's the Lord's will. You know, the Lord is putting Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High, and like the rivers of waters, he turneth it whithersoever he will, man. And I just want to get this real quick just to make that point. It's the Lord, man. At the end of the day, the Lord is going to empty the earth, not Esau. Right. He's just the tool that the Lord is using. This is Isaiah 24 and verse 1, and it reads, "Behold, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai maketh the earth empty. Did you hear that? It's not Esau's doing, it's the Lord's doing, man. And it says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof, man. So the Lord is finna knock this place off its axis, man. You know what I'm saying? He finna turn this place upside down, bro. You know, these people ain't gonna know what hit them, man. You know, they're gonna be trying to figure out what the hell is going on, you know. But it's gonna happen so quick, because like the scriptures speak of that a thief in the night, man. You know, they're not gonna be ready for what's coming, man. You know, so they're not gonna be prepared, man. You know, only the elect, which we hope to be a part of, is gonna be prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, like it says, what is it, Isaiah 45, and I hear Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So when you see these evil that's coming, who ordained that to happen? That's be the Lord. Okay. And like you said, the evil in the city, the Lord has not done it.
Right.
You know, that's what the Lord is doing. It's the Lord's work. He's the one. This is his movie, his show.
Yep.
All right. So you got to have a protagonist and an antagonist, and Esau is that what? The antagonist. The Lord is going to wipe him away. When you go into that path, what is that? You have the water on the right hand on one side, and the water on the other. Water on one side, the fire on the other side. What is that? That's that. Those are the two major deaths we talk about in Revelation. That first death is water. Who caused that?
Right.
That was the Lord. The fire. Who's gonna cause allow that to happen? Okay. The Lord created had Esau and put it in his mind. As you mentioned, what is that? Proverbs 21. The hand basically the Lord caused these kings to create these things, and these actual wizards, these warlocks, all right, these chemists, you know what I'm saying, these scientists, what you want to call them, to create what? The smith, the lords, and the code. They tell you about that in Isaiah 54. And that's what they did. They created that to receive their own destruction. So they're gonna fall in. They'll fall. They digging this hole, and they're gonna follow right into their own ditch.
Exactly. Trick bag, baby.
Yep, that's it.
Lord put these devils in a trick bag, and they're creating the weapons of their own destruction, man. You know what I'm saying? Trick bag. That's a beautiful trick bag. But if I can go back to Isaiah real quick, back in Isaiah 24 and jump down to verse 5, it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, man. The earth is defiled under these devils, man. The earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, Job 9:24. We you know, these are milk scriptures. We know these scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So they're in rulership right now, and they've defiled the whole planet. They've actually, like the scripture say in Revelation, the 11th chapter, they've destroyed the earth, and it speaks of destroying them that destroyed the earth, man. You know what I'm saying? So everything is defiled under these devils, man. It says, because they have transgressed the laws, because he's contrary to the Lord, man. Right. You know, he doesn't deal with the laws. You know, he does his own things. He's contrary. He's the wicked. He's the devil and Satan, a deceiver and an adversary, man, of the Lord and the Lord's people. Right. It says, change the ordinances, you know, which this nigga, and he does these things on purpose, daylight saving times and all. It's all that's to confuse our holy days, man, our high holy days. Yep. He's trying to throw all of that off, man. You know, our Sabbaths and high holy days, man. You know what I'm saying? So he's changed the ordinances, you know, and have everybody confused, the birds confused. You know, it'd be nighttime and they chirping. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, bro, y'all supposed to be asleep. What y'all doing? You know? And as a matter of fact, that's Psalms 82, I believe, in verse 5. If you can grab that real quick and just bring that out real quick. You know, that the earth being out of course.
Oh yeah. Psalms 82. And sure. 82 and 5. Let's see.
82 and 5. Ain't 82 and 5? Let's see. Salakia. It's or maybe it's hold on. No, that's it. That's it.
Psalms 82 and 5.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, come.
Lock it. It says, Psalms 82 and verse 5. This might be a little different, right? It says, they not know, neither will they understand.
That's it.
Okay, come.
They know not.
Yeah. This is I started verse 4. It says, deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hands of the wicked. Verse 5.
It's all the Israelites and the wicked is Edomites. We're in their hands right now. You know, go ahead.
It says, they know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundation of the earth are out of course.
There it is. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. This is why the birds chirping at nighttime when they supposed to be sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Everything is off. Everything is off, man. These people off. You know. Man, I done been driving down the highway and just like wonder where the hell am I? You know, where am I at? Shit, just babble. It's Babylon, confusion, man.
Right.
You just lose train of thought and it just place, man. But everything is out of course, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we're under these devils, man. You know. So those ordinances, this niggas changed all the ordinances, and it says, I'm gonna finish that. It says back in Isaiah 24 at the end of the in verse 5 at the end, it says, and broken the everlasting covenant, you know, which is that brotherly covenant, man. You know, he broke that, bro. He been trying to kill us from back then till now. Really, this is the time that he really accomplished it. You know, when he went after his brother, you know, after we bury our father, my father Isaac, and I will slay my brother Jacob. Well, that didn't happen back then. When did it happen? It happened in these times. Just gunning Jake down all kind of manner of ways. You know, cops. You know, that's why you don't hear of a black cop accidentally shooting a white cop, man. It's always the other way around. A so-called white cop accidentally shooting a black cop. It wasn't an accident, man. It's in his spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an accident. He deliberately did that shit and then called it an accident. It's like that dude ran up on that Jake that was on the ground with his hands up. You remember that? And then he just shot him, and the dude was like, "Sir, I'm on the got my hand. Why'd you shoot me?" And he was like, "I don't know." He don't know. He had no answers, bro. But we got the answers. We know why. Because it's in him. That Ezekiel 35, the perpetual hatred, man. That ancient, never-ending hatred that they have for Jake, man. It's not going anywhere. You know? You want to add anything, guy?
Well, hey, like you said, that perpetual hatred. And see, that's where a lot of people don't understand. Jake is so forgiving on for their enemies. You know, they know not that they have enemies, and that's the thing is. So when you don't think you have an enemy and you have them and letting them in your house and getting comfortable with them, he's gonna do what? He's gonna look towards the slaves.
Right.
And like you said, like the cop. I don't know why I shot you, but see, like I said, that the hatred that they have towards you. You know, we want to get along and be cool with everybody. Like I said, you have a you had it's all Jake at a party and the Edomite come in and know how to do a two-step. They all excited and want to, oh, he's oh, that's my hey, they say he's invited to the barbecue. These my people. They'd be excited to have Edomite come to their party.
Right.
Yeah, as long as you two-step things like that.
Yeah.
If it's vice versa and you go into East party with nothing but Edomites,
Right.
and it's you, they gonna be looking at you like, nigga,
What is this nigga doing here?
what are you doing here?
Right.
They can be calling whoever you came with. They gonna call them to the side. What you bring him here for?
Right.
You know.
Right.
See, that's the thing, because what they got that perpetual hatred. They know that, and like I said, deep down, they don't like you.
Right.
And you know, and we supposed to have the same mentality towards them. Don't the Lord said, "Don't I hate them that hate thee?" Because they don't love the Lord. Because they trying to do what? They do everything that's adverse to the Lord.
And as a matter of fact, what was that? It was a scripture. Look at Satan. He's taking it from me. He's blocking me. If it comes back, I'll come back to it. But I got one more verse. I'll go ahead and get this verse, though. This is Isaiah 24:6. It says, therefore, back in Isaiah 24:6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth. And what's that curse, man? You know, those plagues spoken of in what is that? Zephaniah or Zechariah? Zechariah,
The curse of the whole earth.
right. The curse, the plague. 14 and 12. 14 and Zechariah 14 and 12. You know, the plagues, man, which is talking about these missiles, man, that's about to devour this place. That's the curse. So it says, were you getting it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Zechariah 14 and 12, I believe it is.
This is
Phone tripping.
go check real quick.
Zechariah 14:12. And it reads, and this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouths, man. And what can make what is that? What type of heat is that powerful, man? You know, the heat from those thermonuclear missiles, man, which they say is what, like 10 times hotter than the sun, which I don't know how the hell they know that, but you know what I'm saying? But basically they know it's gonna be some powerful heat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which that's what that's going into, man. Which they show you that in that at the end of that movie, Terminator 2, man. When Sarah Connors is on that fence, man, and that mushroom cloud hits in the distance, and then that wave starts, man, you know,
Right.
of that tempest and all of that heat and wind, and you know, and devours her against that fence, man.
Right.
Only thing is they didn't tell the full truth because they left her a skeleton on that fence. No, bro, it's gonna be powder. Them bones gonna turn to powder, bro.
Yeah.
You know, so they lied on that part. You know what I'm saying?
That much hotter than the sun, as Esau says.
Right.
It leaves some type
Leave
of remnant
something.
on.
Come on, bro. Yeah.
No, that's why these buildings. That's why it's gonna be total destruction.
Right.
These buildings, the steel, everything's gonna be
Yep.
melt. And why the scripture says it's gonna be melt with fervent heat.
Fervent.
You
Yep.
know. And didn't it say, like you said, that's like a curse, or it's gonna be I want to land back that with Zechariah 5, because like you said, that's gonna be the cherries that's gonna come.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah,
Those
you're
two.
gonna have the cherries coming after that, and it's gonna be coming forth. That's why I said it's gonna. What is that? The flying roll. It's gonna be
Mhm.
what? That's gonna be a curse upon the whole earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And it's in the house of the wicked, man. You know, like the scriptures say. But yeah, I'll finish it, and then you can get that one. Isaiah 24:6, it says, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left, man. So the Lord is the one finna empty the earth. It ain't Esau, bro. He's just a tool of the Lord, man, pursuing that sword of the Lord, pursuing the Psalm 17 and 13, man. You know?
Right. Hold on, I was looking at something else because going into. I'll bring it up, destruction of Babylon. But this is Zechariah 5 and verse 1. It says, then I turned and I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, and the length of it is 20 cubits, and the breadth of it is 10 cubits. Then said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on the side according to it.
And
Right.
this devil got people swearing, in the courts. You know, put your right hand on the Bible, swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth. Swear, help me, so help me God, or something like that, bro. You know, whatever they, but that's talking about these devils, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to add?
Yeah, and like I said, that's that curse.
Yep.
And like I said, why is it a curse to the earth? Because this curse is coming to the wicked. Because the world, like I said, because Esau, the Lord gave Esau the opportunity to rule the earth to show us what not to do.
Right.
And also for us being stiff-necked, going off. So he gave him the rulership to what? To be unto us like a pain, to whip our backside, to basically go through that punishment. But now his time is up. Like it says in Job, the wicked, the triumph of the wicked is short. And to the eyes of the Lord and to a heavenly time, it is short. This ain't been no time for him to be ruling. But like I said, now the kingdom to come is going to be ruled forever. But before that happens, you got to go through what? Like you said, your eye socket, your eyes can be burn out your eyes, out your sockets. All this stuff that has to come, bro. And because things about to get bad, that's why we go into a lot now in these times. 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16. All right, it's not gonna be all lovey-dovey. It's not everybody. The love of many is about to wax cold, as it says in Matthew. All right, all that it's gonna get bad out here before the actual destruction of the missiles come. And then, like I said, with those missiles come, that's gonna be what? That's gonna be a purification of this earth. He's gonna wipe Babylon, especially he's gonna wipe Babylon out. And it's gonna set what? It's gonna set forth a kingdom of heaven, so it's gonna be a clean slate and it's gonna be built up the right way, the righteous way.
That's it.
All right, well, with that, Lord willing, you've been edified. We'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakwadash.
double honor to the apostle, great millstone. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, pushing his word and truth and sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.